Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here with Goran, and thank you for joining me here for your free picks for the MLS on Saturday, October 21st. Well, guys, it's the final day of the regular season in the MLS. We have 14 games on the schedule, and in addition to this, we have a bunch of free picks from the European top five leagues. So get that in a separate video. Hit that like button, subscribe, guys. And check out those betting tools we have up on the sportchatplace.com website. It's all fairly new, guys, and you can build your parlays. You can see uh, the winning teams. You can see the goal scorer props, whatever you want. You can set it up there, and you can get yourself a nice whether you want a 4 leg parlay, 5 leg parlay, even a 10 leg parlay if that's something you want. So check it out, guys. For my best bets, click the link in the description. Get up to the Pickdawgz website. Subscribe. Get a daily pass, 7 day pass, 3 day pass, or even a month-long pass, maybe if that's something you want, and that will get you covered for the next 30 days from the moment of your purchase. Before we get into these MLS games, and we have 14 of them, I'm gonna give you a parlay. Well, it's not really a parlay of sorts. Uh, since it's the final day of the regular season in the MLS, I decided to take all 14 games. I decided to take over 2.5 goals in all 14 games and play a nice big parlay. And it's plus 42,636, which means that for $10 you can get $4,263 payout. Even if you put $5 on it, you get a nice chunk of change for it. So it's the final day of the regular season. Like I said, a lot of teams need the wins to get to the playoffs, to stay in the playoff spots, and a lot of teams don't need anything really, so they should play casual soccer and not really stay focused on defense. So like I said, all 14 games over 2.5 goals in each, and that should give you $4,263 for $10 stake. So check it out, guys, and see if that's something you like. Charlotte is hosting Inter Miami in the next matchup, and these two teams played just a few days ago, and that game ended in a 2-2 draw. We know that Inter Miami can get to the playoffs, while Charlotte, even if they get a win here, it's not sure if they will get there because they need Chicago to lose, they need New York Red Bulls to lose, and only then, if they win this game, they might end up in that wild card spot. So I think this is going to be another game with a lot of offense and barely any defense. So both teams to score in over 2.5 minus 148. I think that's the way to go with this one. Columbus is hosting Montreal, and Montreal is one of those teams that it is on the wild card spot right now, uh, but potentially they could lose this spot in some combinations. So they definitely need at least point in this one. And Columbus, they don't need anything; they're on the playoff spot, but that doesn't mean they will not play in this game. So the books are not really uh, liking Montreal here. They are not expecting them to do much, but I think that they will try to get to the scoreboard first and early as possible. So both teams to score at over 2.5, minus 135. This is going to be another one of those games with very little defense, especially from Montreal. Cincinnati and Atlanta are two of the teams that don't really need anything out of this game. They can solely focus on I don't know, keeping their form alive, keeping their form positive. But I also think that this is going to be one of those games where we're going to see some goals. How many on each side? I have no idea. But since neither team needs anything, I'm going to go with the draw plus 320. Honestly, apart from that big parlay I mentioned, I would just skip this game. So maybe give it a shot with the draw for like 10%, 5%, whatever. Nashville is hosting New York Red Bulls in this next matchup in the MLS, and New York Red Bulls definitely need a win out of this game. And Nashville, let me just pull up the standings here. Something does not work properly for me here. I believe that Nashville has secured their spot in the playoffs, and they don't really have to worry about anything here. While New York Red Bulls, they definitely need a win to keep their hopes alive. Here you are. Okay, let me just pull this up real quick. Okay, so Nashville is in seventh place right now, which is a spot in the playoffs. They will not be playing those wild card games or whatever, so they don't have to worry about anything here. While York Red Bulls is 1 point below the wild card spot, so they definitely need at least a draw here. But I'm gonna take a bit of a risk, and I'm gonna take Red Bulls on the money line plus 130. I think we can expect a bit of a shuffled lineup from Nashville. They will try to avoid any unnecessary injuries, and that is gonna be the opportunity for Red Bulls. So I'm taking Red Bulls on the money line. New England and Philadelphia is also one of those games where neither team really needs anything, but we have seen both teams to score and over 2.5 hit in a lot of games uh, of these two teams that they played so far this season in the MLS. And I'm just gonna keep it simple. Both teams to score in over 2.5 minus 159. You can kind of see the books are expecting it. It is quite expensive. I would just keep this game for a parlay, to be honest, and just take the over 2.5. NYC and Chicago is the next matchup that we have, and I honestly do not agree with this one. I don't think that Chicago should be such a big underdog against NYC because NYC is out of the playoff race, in my opinion. They're now 2 points below, and there are four teams above them fighting for that last spot. Actually, those two spots in the wild card, and I don't think that NYC has showed us enough so far this season to have faith in them. Chicago is above them 2 points. They're direct competitors, and I honestly would give more chances to Chicago to get a win here and get to the playoff spot rather than NYC at home. So I'm gonna do something wild here. I'm gonna take both teams to score and Chicago to win at plus 700. I think it's gonna be the intense game, and it should be quite exciting. I think we're gonna see some goals. I think it's gonna be back and forth. As soon as one team gets on the scoreboard, it's gonna be back and forth, and I just think that Chicago might get out on top in this one. So both teams to score and Chicago to win at plus 700. Toronto is hosting Orlando, and this is another game where neither team needs anything. Toronto, they will end the season probably at the bottom of the table, even below Colorado, which is embarrassing if you ask me. But Orlando, on the other side, they don't need anything. They have secured their spot. They are in the second place of the Eastern Conference. They can go up or down, so they really have no meaning here at all. While Toronto actually has some meaning. This is the last game of the season for them at home, and it's the final game for Michael Bradley. He's retiring after this match, and I'm sure that his teammates, his coaching staff, the fans, everyone will be there to support him. And the best way to do that is to get a win at home. So uh, I'm gonna take Toronto to win at over 2.5 goals, plus 295. I don't think they can keep a clean sheet. Uh, can it happen? It definitely can, but I think they will get a win, and I'll try to get the best price out of it. So, Toronto to win and over 2.5 goals. Colorado is hosting Salt Lake, and this is gonna be a very simple pick for me, guys. I'm taking Salt Lake on the money line. Salt Lake is on the playoff spot right now. They definitely could use a win to stay there to secure it, not to drop any more any further down in the standings to get a more favorable draw in the playoffs. While Colorado, they are at the bottom of the Western Conference. They will stay there. They haven't been showing anything this season at all, so I'm taking Salt Lake on the money line, plus 145. Should be a good game for Salt Lake, and it's time for them to sharpen their form for the playoffs. LA Galaxy and Dallas is the next matchup in the West, and Galaxy just fell short of the playoffs. And this is going to be what, the second year in a row that they're missing playoffs, or were they there last season? I can't even remember. Well, Dallas on the other side, they desperately need a win here. They are in the wild card spot right now, but with a win here, potentially they could go straight into the playoffs, and if they lose, they could lose the wild card spot as well. So I don't think that they should be the underdogs that they are here, especially because Galaxy has no defense. So I'm gonna take advantage of it, and I'm gonna take Dallas on the money line plus 170. Hopefully they can step up. Hopefully they can get the win they need, and that's gonna be a nice winner for us as well. Portland and Houston is another matchup in the West, and Portland had an amazing run. They got themselves to that playoff spot, and I think the draw might be enough for them here. The safest thing for them would be to get a win here. Luckily for them, Houston doesn't really need anything. They are in the playoff spot. They could go up or down a little bit. Uh, Depends on the result of this game and some other results as well. But as you can see, Portland is a bit of a favorite here at home, as they should be because they have been outstanding at home in the second half of the season. And I think that Houston as well is a very solid team, and I think they will get to the scoreboard once again. So both teams to score an over 2.5 minus 132. I think that's the way to go in this game. San Jose and Austin is the next matchup, and I'm keeping this one very simple, guys. I'm taking San Jose on the money line. Austin is out of the playoff race. They have had a horrible season. They have been struggling a lot on both ends, and San Jose could definitely use a win here. Let me just check where they are right now. They are in the wild card spot. They definitely need a win here to stay there, possibly even get straight into the playoffs. It's minus 175. I think this might be perfect for a double with something else, but I honestly think that San Jose will get on top in this one. Kansas and Minnesota are two teams who are direct competitors for the wildcard spot. That is, if they get favorable results from some other games. And I think this is going to be quite an exciting game. I think that with both teams needing to attack and needing to win, I don't think that either of them will be focused on defense here. So over 3.5 goals plus 115. I think you can even take both teams to score an over 3.5 goals because I think we're gonna see a lot of offense on both sides and not a lot of defense on either side. So over 3.5 goals at plus 115 for me in this one. St. Louis and Seattle are two teams that really don't need anything out of this game except maybe some bragging rights or something like that, or to stay on a nice and positive streak. They have played against each other only once, and it ended 3-0 win for Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, can it happen here again? I think it could, but with no stakes in this game, feel like we're gonna see a bit of relaxed teams, uh, maybe some shuffled lineups and whatnot. So this is gonna be one game where the books are not expecting the goals. As you can see, over 2.5 is listed as minus 129, where the line on all the other games is pretty much set to over 3.5. So I'm gonna take the over 2.5 minus 129. I'm gonna stay away from sides and simply go with goals for the last day of the regular season. And the game in the MLS is between Vancouver and LAFC in the West. Both teams in the playoff spot. Both teams don't have to worry about anything. They have secured their playoff spots. They had a great regular season, especially Vancouver, who had that long streak of like 7 or 8 games on the road in a row. They did a solid job. They secured that playoff spot, and this is gonna be another game where they can be relaxed, um, maybe try out some plays, some set pieces, whatever, score a couple of goals or so, and same goes for LAFC. They can go down in the standings, they can go up, but I don't think it's gonna matter that much. We have two great offensive teams, goal scoring teams, so I'm gonna go with over 1.5 goals in the first half, plus 104. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see a 3-3 or 4-4 game here even, and I think this is gonna be another great winner for us. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here for your free picks for the MLS on Saturday. I hope you have a great day, guys. I wish you all the luck in the world with your bets. Stay tuned, subscribe, hit that like button, and of course, feel free to leave a comment at any time on this video. So that's it. Enjoy your evening, and I'll see you soon with more free picks.